Welcome back to Minute on the Mountain. We're back on the Blacksmith Fork River. I can already tell the water color is quite a bit better. It's more clear from last week when I brought James out here. That's not always a good thing. A lot of times I like stained water. For spinner fishing, I think sometimes the fish they don't check it out as closely when the water's stained. They're a little more aggressive. I just fished a spot where last week I caught 3 out of that hole and I didn't catch anything, and I had one follow, but he was following it, not aggressively. But it's early. That was the first hole. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for coming along. Fish are jumping all over, feeding on flies on the surface, which can sometimes not be good when you're throwing spinners. Can't tell if that was a hit right when he hit the water or a submerged stick. I'm not sure. I had one little follow right there. It was a tiny guy. You have those days fishing where you just think you're off. You're missing your cast by a little bit. You're missing hits. Then you have those days where you feel like you're doing everything you're supposed to and you're just not catching them, and that's kind of how today feels like. I'm hitting all my spots. They're just not biting right now. That was my fault. Finally had a hit. Missed him. Well, guys, that's not a good sign for the day when this spot doesn't get you a fish. I don't think I've ever not caught a fish here. Of course, I had one and just lost him, so that's my fault, but this is usually a spot for fish. Starting to think we were going to get skunked. Little brownie, first one of the day. That fish followed the lure all the way to the end and then missed it at the very end. I think the GoPro might even pick that up on camera. We'll see. Had another one following it right there. They just don't want to commit today. And when they do commit, I'm missing them. That looked like a cutthroat following that. See if we can get him to follow again. Hope he hit it. That's a brown though, I missed him. I'm gonna check my hooks. I think maybe my hooks got bent. I got snagged a little while ago and got it out, but I'm wondering if my hooks are all bent up. Oh, he followed it. Is he gonna follow it more? Nope, he gave up. That guy missed it. These are just missing it. It's not hitting it clean. That was a rock. That one followed it right here to my feet again. They're just either missing it, or I'm missing them, or not committing. That was a bump. He's still following it. My goodness, John, catch a fish. Ah, frick! Guys, I just lost like a 17-inch fish. Good night. I'm like putting on a show of exactly what not to do today. Just lost another one too. All right, I'm about to pack up and go home. Just lost another one. Well, not really lost, we just had another hit. I mean, literally, it's almost every other cast now. I'm gonna change lures. Maybe those hooks are more bent than they look to me. Something's happening. I mean, don't get me wrong, I miss my fair share of fish, but nothing like this. It's a little frustrating on the river that day. I finally caught a few fish towards the end, but then the GoPro wasn't working, so it wasn't just the fishing that was frustrating, the filming was frustrating. Then I went out with my friend Zach. After that, I just put a picture in the video of one of the trout he caught. He caught 2 or 3, and I caught 3 or 4 that day. It was a better day on the river, but GoPro batteries had overheated in the car, and so I just had some video of my phone. And I can't get my laptop to recognize the videos on my phone when I link it. So I don't know what's going on with the technology tonight, but we're just going to go ahead and wrap this up and jump into the channel shout out in the Minute on the Mountain. The channel I want to shout out tonight is Alan Metalman. He's over in the UK. He has some of the most vibrant colors in his videos that I've ever seen. I'm assuming they're all in 4K, and whatever camera he uses, it just looks gorgeous. He does a lot of hiking videos, and he does some hotel reviews too. I think he did even a cruise review maybe. But check him out. I'll put a link in the description. Tell him that Minute on the Mountain sent you. I think you'll really enjoy his stuff. Just incredible scenery. The Minute on the Mountain, we're going back to the book of Judges, and we're going to fast forward from Deborah. Now we're going to talk about Gideon. And I'm just going to grab my laptop here and read some of the passage for you. So we're going to be in in Judges chapter 6, Judges chapter 6. And this is right when the angel of the Lord appears to Gideon and calls him to be Israel's next judge. It says, Then the angel of the Lord came and sat beneath the great tree at Ophrah, which belonged to Joash of the clan of Abiezer. Gideon, son of Joash, was threshing wheat at the bottom of a wine press to hide the grain from the Midianites. So they were trying to keep their food hidden to keep it from getting stolen by the Midianites who were in control of the area at that time. The angel of the Lord appeared to him and said, Mighty hero, the Lord is with you. And Gideon basically says, if the Lord's with us, why is all this stuff happening? We've heard all these stories about how he delivered our ancestors, but right now we're getting thrashed by the Midianites, so if he's with us, where's the proof of that? It says in verse 14, then the Lord turned to him and said, go with the strength you have and rescue Israel from the Midianites. I am sending you. Gideon replied, but Lord, how can I rescue Israel? My clan is the weakest in the whole tribe of Manasseh, and I am the least in my entire family. Verse 16 said, the Lord said to him, I will be with you, and you will destroy the Midianites as if you were fighting against one man. And I just want to remind us all that when God calls us to do something, he'll always equip us to do it. He told Gideon, go in the strength that you have. Whatever Gideon brought to the table was plenty, because God was the one who was going to be sending him, and God said, I will be with you. So there may be things in your life that you sense the Spirit is leading you to do or calling you to step out and take a chance, but you just don't think you have the ability or the resources to pull it off. If God is calling you to do it, he will be with you and he will get it done. You just need to go in the strength that you have. So that's the Minute on the Mountain for today. Again, Judges chapter 6. We'll probably spend one more time on Gideon's story. He's a pretty interesting character in the Bible. Thanks so much for coming along, guys. Thanks for all your support, and we'll see you the next time we're out on the mountain.